Last but not least, the question asks us to solve the inequality of x plus 1 divided by x minus 2 is greater than or equal to x plus 7 divided by x plus 1. So the first thing I notice here would be that it's greater than or equal to, so we cannot use a simple algebraic method where we would multiply x minus 2 by x plus 7 and x plus 1 by x plus 1, because this is greater than or equal to. As it's an inequality, that wouldn't work. So what I did was to move x plus 7 and x plus 1 to the other side of the inequality and make it the inequality greater than or equal to 0. So that would be x plus 1 divided by x minus 2 minus x plus 7 divided by x plus 1. So solving this by finding the LCM of both, which is x minus 2 and x plus 1, we can do the math and collect like terms in this case, because we get x minus 2 and x minus 2 is 1. 1 times x plus 1 is x plus 1. And the same thing here. X plus 1 divided by x plus 1 is 1. And 1 times 1 multiplied by x plus 7 is x plus 7. So collect like terms here, we get x minus x is 0 and 7 plus 1 is 8. So we get 8 equals to x minus 2 and x plus 1. So we know that this has to give us greater than or equal to 0. So when you plot the graph, it's going to look something like this. Although because of the ace, there's going to be a vertical stretch of the bottom parabola, which isn't accounted for in this graph. So in this case, the graph would be much lower than it is now. It would be somewhere here. Okay. So looking at the graph and finding out, let's say that vertical asymptote is 2, -1, because of the x-intercept here. 2 minus 2 gives us 0, so the vertical asymptote has to be 2, and -1 plus 1 gives us 0, so -1 is there. The horizontal asymptote is 0 because this is a linear reciprocal, and in a linear reciprocal, HA is always 0. With HA being 0, that means there are no x-intercepts, and the y-intercept is going to be 0. So looking at the graph here, we can tell that when 8 divided by x minus 2, x plus 1 is greater than 0, we know that x has to be less than -1, because as we can see here, the graph comes close to 0 but never touches 0, and it stays above 0 at x -1 and less. And we also find out that for this side, the x has to be greater than 2 as well. So x is also greater than 2. Thank you.